Eagles are in Jacksonville. Andy Reid live on ESPN News.
Something that you just kind of just feel like just ignore and just kind of let it go away.
I haven't gotten a hold of him yet.
Andy, I'm old enough to remember '81, and there was an incident in the middle of the week. The late John Matuszek got caught with a few visitors in his room of the opposite sex, and the next day they asked Tom Flores what he was going to do, and he said, well, Tuz and I had a talk, and that won't happen again. And that afternoon they asked Dick Vermeil how he would handle it, and he said he would have had his rear end on the next plane out of New Orleans. I'm just wondering, are you more a Tom Flores or a Dick Vermeil guy, and why?
Well, I'm going to take the positive approach on it and say I trust my guys are going to do the right thing. And, you know, we'll cross that bridge when they get here. But, you know, they understand that they're down here for a football game. And I'm not taking a negative approach with them and treating them like little kids. But they also understand they have to handle themselves the right way.
Coach, at what time are you going to make a decision to see if T.O. is going to be ready to play or if he's not going to play?
Well, we'll see. T.O.'s going to try to do a couple things tomorrow, and we'll see how he does. And then we'll take it day by day here. There's no time frame on it.
How you doing, Coach, and congratulations. After an amazing job of shutting down Mike Vick in the NFC Championship game, why is the media underestimating Philly's defense?
Well, you know, I don't know if they're underestimating them. I think our defenses continue to get better every week, and you know, I said this before that we started off a bit slow because we didn't play much together during camp, and the more the guys played together and the healthier we got, the better they played, and they finished the season very strong. So I think I'm not sure people necessarily underestimated them, but the players, they've bettered themselves every week. So it's hard to tell exactly how they were going to do each week, and they got better every week.
Coach, there's been some criticism of the selection of Jacksonville for the Super Bowl site. You've played here before. Has there been anything that you've ever seen that repulses you or makes you think the Super Bowl shouldn't be played here?
No, there isn't. I've always liked Jacksonville. With the exception that we had to play games down here against a pretty good football team, but I think it's a great location for the Super Bowl.
Coach, what will you say to Freddie when you get a hold of him?
Well, that's between Freddie and I.
What has the return of Douglas and Trotter meant to you, your team on the field and in the locker room in terms of their attitude and enthusiasm? And can you talk a little bit about patching those relationships up?
Jeremiah and Hugh is what you said? Yeah. Well, both of them, you know, Hugh is a great personality, and there are not a lot of those personalities in the National Football League, and when you have an opportunity to have one of those guys on your team, you sure enjoy it while you have them. And you know, Hugh hasn't played probably as much as he wanted to, but he's been a huge contributor to this football team and a great example of those young guys, and he keeps everybody loose. And then Jeremiah brought a presence to the middle of our defense there that I thought was needed, and again, plays very physical football, and he's an emotional player, and I think that can be contagious on a defense, and things have sure gone well since he's been in there.
Coach, we saw the guys with the camcorders getting off the bus. Your wife looks happy. Is it fun for you and everybody to be sort of the belle of the ball, the topic this week?
Well, it probably is today, and then when you get into the grind here, it's going to be football, and you get yourself right for the football game. We're not down here on vacation. We're down here to play a football game against a very good football team, and so I think the reality of that sets in once you get to the practice field and meeting rooms and meetings and so on.
Andy, you were around Favre during his great run into a Super Bowl with him. Can you kind of frame Donovan's role with, I mean, his performance obviously and his leadership during this run for you?
Well, Donovan's done a great job all year, and Donovan is a very good leader, and he's been that really since his rookie year. You've seen veteran players kind of turn that role over, looking to Donovan to lead the football team. And I'm talking about seasoned veterans like Troy Vincent and Bobby Taylor, Deuce Staley, those guys. They acknowledged right away that we go as far as number 5 goes and how he plays. And Donovan didn't shy away from that a bit, took that responsibility on his shoulders, and has led this football team and did a great job this year with it.
Coach, you mentioned not treating your players like little boys during this week. How did Mike Holmgren handle that during the back-to-back Super Bowls that you were with him in terms of giving a players a leash versus a curfew and all that kind of stuff?
Well, he was pretty good with it. We do have a curfew every night that the players will be in at, and but it'll still give them plenty of time to enjoy themselves and the different events, enjoy the Super Bowl experience. But yet focus, be able to wake up in the morning and focus on the practice and meetings that we have at hand. So I thought Coach Holmgren did a great job with it. He had a big challenge that first Super Bowl of having it in New Orleans, and New Orleans, there are a few things that go on in New Orleans that you don't necessarily want your players to be involved with. So, but the guys handled themselves like professionals, and they understood why they were there.
Coach, Brian Westbrook does a lot of things for you. What does he do best, and what is it you think that makes him special?
Well, first of all, I'd like to congratulate him. He was just named to the Pro Bowl team, so he will be going to Hawaii after this. Brian is a very versatile player and can do so many things for your football team. And he started off being a Pro Bowl type punt returner, and then he worked himself more into the offense, and he does a great job carrying the ball out of the backfield and catching the ball from all different places on the field. And he's a threat every time he touches the football.
Hugh Douglas played here in Jacksonville, and he made some disparaging remarks towards the Jacksonville area and even the coaching staff. Do you think that's going to be a distraction for him, or if it's not a distraction for him, will he be even participating in this Super Bowl?
No, I know Hugh respects Coach Del Rio, and his experience here. It didn't work out for him. He understands that. I think Hugh's very happy right now. I don't think he holds anything against Jacksonville. I had a chance to talk to him last week, and he had good things to say about Jacksonville. Told me all the good places to eat.
Andy, how would you say your guys have handled the last 7 days, the 7 days since the Atlanta game?
Well, they came in, I thought, we had practice all last week, and I thought they came in very businesslike and knocked it out. Still kept their sense of humor, so it didn't look like they were tight by any means. And we got some good work in last week, able to put a lot of our game plan in, so when we start up tomorrow, we'll be able to just continue from there.
It's generally acknowledged that Javon Kearse had a bigger impact than the sack total would indicate. How did he make other players on the team better, and was it just a question of him getting double-teamed?
Well, that's probably the primary one. Teams spent time double-teaming him, so that allowed other players to be freed up to make plays. And then, even though he wasn't making sacks, he was around the quarterback and distorting the quarterback's platform to throw from at times. So I think and then his energy level. I think that part's a bit contagious. Like I said about Jeremiah, he's got that high motor, and everybody sees that and feeds off of that.
Yeah, Coach, just following up on the previous question, how much more work needs to be done? Where are your guys in terms of being ready for this game, and what more do you want to do?
Well, we need to fine-tune things and go back through things one more time. And I think they have a good grasp on it, but we can even be better at it. And we'll do that this week. We'll focus in on it and polish the game plan up and get ourselves ready for Sunday.
Andy, have you given any consideration to using Westbrook as a punt returner?
Well, we'll see. We haven't really talked about that too much, but that's a possibility. We'll see.
Coach, Coach Belichick is downplaying that they're the defending champions in their experience. Do you think your lack of experience, how will you take that? Will you use that as an advantage maybe?
Well, I don't know about that. I think when you get ready to play, we obviously know they're the world champions. They've done it a number of times. We have a lot of respect for them, and we've just got to get ourselves ready to play a good football team and do the best job we possibly can, getting ourselves ready and not worry about all the other things. And we'll see how things work out.
Coach, could you just talk about Brian Dawkins? I mean, he's obviously got a pretty big reputation as a hard-hitting safety. What is it about him that you see that enables him to deliver as many as legal good blows as he does?
Well, he's fast. He is aggressive, and he's smart, and he has that instinct that you need to get yourself in the right position around the football, and spends a lot of time studying the game. And I think people will be very fortunate to see a couple good safeties or a few good safeties play in this game. I think both teams are safety strong, and there should be a lot of hitting involved.
Andy, just curious, what was the weather like when you guys left today, and how does that compare to the weather here in Northeast Florida?
Well, it was cold. It had snowed last night, and it's it's nicer weather down here so far.
Andy, going into this year, obviously you were looking at another Super Bowl run. What did you see in Lito and Sheldon that said they are ready right now that would allow you to let two veterans like Bobby and Troy go?
Bobby and Troy did a great job for us, and that's the hardest part about being a head coach. You've got to make those decisions to let guys go at times because of this free agency thing. And it wasn't because those guys couldn't play. It was that you've got to keep, if you're going to try to win year in and year out, you've got to make some changes here and there. And we were fortunate enough to have drafted well. Tom Hecker did a great job of pointing those three guys out, and they were able to step in and do a nice job. I'd also add Rod Hood into that mix, and he's played quite a little bit, and they've done a nice job of been very aggressive to the football and very sure tacklers.
All right, 2 more questions.
Coach, a lot of people make a lot of what your opposing coach wears on the field, that big old gray sweatsuit. Freddie Mitchell said he's looking forward to putting on some flip-flops this week. You look great in your suit. Are we going to see some new Andy Reid looks this week?
I doubt it. I'll
Pair of shorts, maybe? I know we can't get tights, but how about a pair of shorts?
Yeah, we're not going there. Well, only at practice.
Andy, there were some rumors last week that T.O. might have done some running and cutting. Is that true, or what, can you say anything about that?
Yeah, no, he's done that. That's what I mentioned last week, that he was going to start running and progress through the week, and he did that, and he felt pretty good doing it. We'll have to see. He's not there yet. We'll have to see how he does this week here.
Yeah, Andy, when you took this job, 6 years ago plus, when did you envision yourself getting here versus what's happened?
Sitting in this room talking to you.
Yeah, when?
Here. This is what it's all about. You want your football team to have an opportunity to play in the Super Bowl, and then you're here and you're ready to go, and that's I think as a head coach, I think every head coach has that goal. We're lucky enough for it to be a reality.
All right, we're not going to see him in shorts. That's a good thing.
tights.
All right. Over the last 5 seasons, Coach Reid has compiled a record of 66 wins, 25 losses. That's 73% in the regular season and playoffs combined. Those 66 wins are the most by any NFL coach over that span. 5 more than the guy coaching the Patriots. Interesting.
Yeah. All right, speaking of the Eagles, we anticipate hearing from Brian Dawkins and Donovan McNabb. They should be stepping up to the podium, so sit back, grab some chunky soup, and enjoy Eagles news conferences here on the ESPN Network. All right, that was Rodney Harrison. Here's Eagles quarterback Donovan McNabb. He's live on ESPN News.
No. I mean, I'm not Peyton Manning. I mean, although y'all may feel that, Peyton Manning is invincible and he does all the right things, I mean, you win some, you lose some. And, I'm not Peyton Manning. I'm not Ben Roethlisberger. I'm not anyone. I'm Donovan McNabb, and I'm going to do what I do to help this team win. No. Tom Brady's a great quarterback. I'm excited to see that people are starting to talk about him now. Just because he doesn't put up 4,000 yards passing, 40-something touchdown passes, or, whatever it may be, he's a quarterback that all of us as quarterbacks in the NFL obviously are trying to get, and that's that Super Bowl ring. He's got 2 of them. He's got 2 MVPs, and I'm excited to see that finally people are starting to talk about him with the likes of some of the other great quarterbacks that have played.
How'd you evaluate the value of your season? Look at the numbers. I mean, the touchdowns versus interceptions. How did your game blossom this year?
Well, I think all of our games stepped up a little bit. And, it's not just me. I think when the team is playing well, obviously the quarterback is the first one to receive the credit. And when the team's not playing well, we're the first to receive the criticism. As a unit, we all play well. And that's why we're in this position we're at right now. So individually, I don't look at my stats and say, well, I should have been this or I should have been that. As a team, we did what we had to do to get here. I'm happy we're here at this Super Bowl.
Tell us what it means to be every quarterback dreams of being here. Finally got here. Tell us what it means to you.
I mean, this is what it's all about. This is why you go in the backyard playing catch with your dad, playing catch with your friends. You spend extra time in the weight room, spending extra time, out on the football field running and doing different drills to get to this point. You dreamed of playing in the Super Bowl, and obviously, as we know as kids, you dream of winning the Super Bowl and being MVP and getting hit by the confetti, holding up the trophy, and all that can happen. And I think just what we need to realize as individuals is these guys that you see out here on this football field is fulfilling a dream, and we're having a great time doing it, and we can't wait to get started.
You credit keep you thrive. You're such a class act. You know, people looking for media hype. So
Right.
You're never that kind of person. As soon as you won the championship game, the first thing you talk about, you want to win the Super Bowl.
Right.
You credit to keep you such your ground.
Well, my parents have always been the big supporters for me, and they've always been kind of my number one critics, and they were the ones that kind of make sure that I stay humble. And as a young child, obviously, you want to say some different things, but it's not right that you do it. And they've always been there to let me know that, you're handling yourself well, continue to do that because kids are watching. And I think people have to understand that, what we say and what we do, we're role models first and foremost, and you want to make sure that you're doing the right thing so that people understand a little bit more about you.
Who are your role models?
My mother and father.
Any athletes that you looked up to, maybe not so much as idols?
Well, I mean, I enjoy the way Michael Jordan handled himself. He's one of the ones that could have said and did anything he wanted to do, but he handled himself in a professional manner. I think Tiger Woods handles himself in a professional manner. I mean, the list of different guys, do a wonderful job of handling themselves, and those are guys that obviously I watch and I enjoy watching, not because of the things they're able to do and they're given sports, but by the way they handle themselves.
Donovan, they came in playing quarterbacks. Donovan, at any point during your career, did somebody try to switch you to play another position and say he's a great athlete?
Yeah. I mean, coming out of high school, getting recruited by colleges, they would tell you they wanted to play quarterback, and once you said no thanks, thank you for recruiting me, I'm looking somewhere else, they'll say if you want to play running back or receiver, please give us a call. So many schools have said that, but all I wanted was an opportunity to show what I can do. It wasn't asked for anything extra. And Syracuse and Nebraska gave me those opportunities. I chose Syracuse, and I think it was the right move for me.
More people ask you not to play quarterback than to play
Yeah,
quarterback.
yeah.
Nikhil can be a distraction.
Not at all. Not at all. I'm sure if T.O. walked in here, y'all probably would leave my table. So that means it'll be a shortened day for me, and, you guys will be wondering how T.O.'s feeling.
Will he play? Won't he play? Things of that.
That's something y'all get to talk about. I see that when I'm watching TV every day of, the question of if will he play or won't he play. If he plays, you'll talk about him. If you don't, you'll talk about him then. So, it seems that everybody's been pretty much talking about the Patriots, and the only thing they talk about the Eagles is the T.O. plan. We get a chance to focus in on what we want to do and what we need to do to win a game. Oh, I'm going to enjoy every bit of it. I'm enjoying just sitting here talking to you guys. Are you really? Yeah. This is what it's all about. I mean, in the past 3 years, I was kind of on the other side doing appearances and things like that, and people ask me, how come you guys aren't in it? Well, we're in it, and, You know, I'm enjoying sitting here with you guys. Good to see you. See some new faces.
Why the camcorder?
Hey, this is something you got to remember. You know, be remembered as. You know, my little baby daughter. You know, she don't know what's going on right now. So, you know, when she begins, you know, to get a little older and she understands that her dad played in Super Bowl 39, you know, she could probably, you know, reflect on some different things, and now she can rewind it and see it on tape. Hey, this is my first Super Bowl. You know, when we were in college and you had a camcorder when you went to your bowl games, you videotaped that. This is the ultimate bowl game. You know, this ain't like going to, you know, the Fiesta Bowl or Orange Bowl. This is the world champion. You know, you can be world champions of the NFL. Oh, definitely, definitely. I love it. And it's only going to get better. It's only going to get better. They were meaningless comments. They were meaningless comments. I mean, Freddie didn't mean anything by him, and it's sad that, you know, some people got to blow some of his comments up just to kind of make a story. You know, Freddie apologized at the end, didn't mean anything by it, and, you know, if people need anything to motivate themselves by somebody's comments, you know, then you don't need to be playing this game. This is the Super Bowl. You know, you should be happy about playing in the Super Bowl and just can't wait to get out there on that field.
You mentioned coming here before, and then people ask you why you're not in the game.
Right.
Your mom's been here before, too. I mean,
And they asked her, too.
Well, with the soup commercials, with the soup commercials and stuff, how's that going to be different this week?
Well, I'm busy. Yeah. You know, I'm busy. I have a job to do this weekend, and, you know, I'm sure we'll be able to rearrange some different things, but yet still my focus is playing this weekend.
Brian said he's ready to play. Brian Westbrook said we're ready to play right now. What do you hope to accomplish this week? How close are you to being ready?
Well, I think what we have to do is kind of calm down a little bit, and I think we did an excellent job with that last week of practice of being able to just focus in on the game plan, not try to overdo it or try to peak too early. You know, we did an excellent job of just doing what we usually do during the weeks, and it's not going to be any different this week. I think, you know, even with the media requests and things of that nature, I think we're going to handle it in an orderly fashion, and when we're out there on that field, just focus in on football.
Brian Westbrook.
Right.
You know, you can party Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday maybe, but Thursday, Friday, Saturday, stay in your room. How do you toe the line? 'Cause there's a lot of fun stuff to do down there in the experience.
I think one thing that, you know, we don't have any guys on our team that kind of get caught up in that whole deal, and even in this week, you know, I think it's not about partying. It's kind of just, you know, sometimes you have to get away from things, get some fresh air, and be able to refocus again. And, you know, by Wednesday, end of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it's all about football and nothing else.
With the exception of a slight dip in 2003, Donovan McNabb's passer rating has improved every season of his 6-year NFL career. But this past season, his numbers went through the roof. Threw for nearly 3,900 yards with 31 touchdowns, just 8 interceptions, a quarterback rating of nearly 105. Let's go back to Jacksonville. Jeremiah Trotter, Pro Bowler, hoping to go to Honolulu with the Super Bowl ring.
I would just say all of the above. You know, Andy, the teammates, fans, you know, and I love the city. So, and I always wanted to be here. I never felt like Washington was home. So, you know, I always wanted to be in Philly.
Did that kind of Jeremiah, what you more today, walking in and just kind of being here in the moment? Did you reflect back on this last year for you?
Yeah. You know, just, I mean, oftentimes I wake up and wonder how in the world I got here. But, you know, I'm just thankful and grateful that I'm back and I'm part of this.
Jeremiah, if you were one of us, if you were in the media right now, how would you describe the Patriots? How would you look at this game?
I would say very well-coached team, very disciplined. They're a team that not oftentimes are going to beat themselves. You know, they're going to make very few mistakes, and you know, they're going to take advantage of their opportunities. So that's where we have to come in. We got to play our game. We can't turn the ball over. We have to try to create turnovers on defense, and if we can do that, we have a good chance to win the game.
Donovan said you respect the Patriots, but you can't believe they're not invincible.
Oh, no.
How much do you have to carry that belief to get it done?
We respect everybody we play, and especially this group because, like I said, they're the champions. But nobody's unbeatable, and we know we're not here for just for no reason. We have a lot of great talent on this team. We know we can play all of it. We just got to go out and play our game.
Is this, I know you were away for a couple years, but do you think this is the best defense that the Eagles are going to put on the field during this run?
Yeah.
I mean, during this 4 or 5 year run?
Yeah.
Why?
man, you know, we put a lot of guys in the Pro Bowl. It's not just because of that. It's just the way we're playing together as a team, the way we're playing, the way we're stopping the run. Even when I was here before, we was good against the run, decent against the run, but we wasn't this good, you know. So we have a lot of talent, a lot of depth too. So when guys go down, I talked about that earlier. Guys go down, you have another guy step in that role and playing well, and there's not any drop off. And that's one of the biggest things you faced on the course of the season. When guys go down, you know, you're having a big drop off, and teams able to exploit the, you know, those mismatches.
Hey, Jeremiah, what does it mean to you being part of the Super Bowl? Set a record for most victories against the NFC, AFC versus NFC. The AFC kind of dominated this year, had more victories than ever before. Do you see a big difference in the quality of teams in the NFC versus the AFC?
I think this year was kind of lopsided. You know, in the NFC, you were either real good or real bad. In the NFC, there was a lot of good teams. You know, there were teams that was like, you know, 10 and something that didn't get to the playoffs, and that's crazy, you know. But you know, who knows why? I mean, that's just 1 year, so you know, we don't really think about those type of stats.
Jeremiah, what does it mean being part of a Super Bowl team? What does this mean, this whole experience?
Man, it's an awesome feeling. I mean, it's just to come back in the fashion I came back, and you know, to be a part of it, and start out where I started out at the beginning of the season with special teams and all. It's truly a blessing just to be back here with my teammates and be a big part of this.
Your name, your mom, Jeremiah, does that mean anything?
Well, in the Bible, it means the weeping prophet. So my son's name is Jeremiah too. He's a junior.
The weeping prophet?
Weeping prophet. That's what it means.
What was it for guys?
Well, that's what they called him in the Bible. They say he was the weeping prophet.
For someone who's done all that you've done, how humbling was it to be on special teams when you just started the season?
Oh, now that was tough. That was tougher than chopping wood growing up. But you know what? I came here with the right attitude, with a positive attitude, and I was supporting whomever was on the field. Anytime I had an opportunity to help, you know, I did. And I had a lot of fun on special teams. You know, I did. And like I said, I'm a team player, and whatever the team needed, that's what I did.
Two more questions. Did you almost feel like you had to prove yourself again? Or?
No. I just felt like that I should just keep working hard, and once I got the opportunity, just go out and play the way I knew I could play.
Jacksonville and then Honolulu for the Pro Bowl. Not a bad run for Jeremiah.
Good run, yeah.
Of the 43 Patriots who played in Super Bowl 38, 33 are still on the team. Now, defensive tackle Keith Traylor, he won 2 Super Bowl rings with the Broncos. For the Eagles, only Dorsey Levens and Jeff Thomason have won rings, both with the Packers in Super Bowl 31. And Thomason is the player they brought back from the construction business once Chad Lewis went down with the ankle injury.
Tight end, sure.